Mascara. Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So right now I'm going to be doing a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Also for the people who find themselves on this video without any Pisces anything, and you don't know why you're here. You're probably an empath. My videos are geared towards just delivering messages, regardless of what's in the title. If it resonates, if you find yourself here and what I'm saying, sharing resonates, it's probably for you. It's probably for you, okay? All right. Good morning, guys. So, it's been a very interesting morning. Very, very interesting morning. I'm feeling a lot of my power that really I've kind of just subdued and watered down is really returning back to me. And this is a beautiful moment. Past few weeks have been very difficult for pretty much all Pisceans, all empaths. We've been really struggling with the shifts in energy. We've been really struggling with our perception of who we are, who we're becoming. And now is a time for you to really appreciate, take stock of how much you've been through, how much you've resolved, how much you've allowed yourself to grow. And a lot of this growth has occurred through challenge, adversity, through other people um, trying to convince you that you don't have permission to grow in that way. Permission from whom? Permission from whom? You only need permission from yourself. And even that, the permission is only a form of submission to your soul. You're not submitting to anyone else. You're not being asked to. So in this period, we're really becoming a lot stronger. We're allowing ourselves 2, 3, 4, 5. We're allowing ourselves to expand our awareness of who we are, how we fit into our lives, into our environment, into our social circles. We're allowing for that to kind of develop, to ripen. We're also allowing for more of our truth to come forward. This truth coming forward has a lot to do with you no longer allowing people to dictate things to you. So it was a really, really dicey beginning to the morning. I had to assert my dominance within my own space. Okay, Pisceans and empaths. Now is the time for you to choose who you will allow and no longer allow to continue to hold space with you. Okay. The people who you identify as being toxic for you, whether they pull you into their toxicity, they encourage you to remain in your toxicity, or they create so much internal conflict that drags you back to toxicity. These are the people that need to go. They need to no longer hold that type of space within your heart and your mind. Now, will you be cutting them off? That's up to you. You can definitely hold your space with them still being a part of your life. You have to assess for you, like, what do I need? Am I at a point where I can be around them and still allow myself to grow? If not, maybe a small break, a small period of silence until you get your footing solid. Okay. I definitely don't want to give off the impression that I'm encouraging you to walk away from people. I'm encouraging you to take a good hard look at what it is you actually need from yourself. That's what I'm encouraging. And if what you determine what you need is distance and silence, maybe you need to honor that at least for a short period. Okay. Long gone is a time we're going to spend catering to, bending over backwards for, and shaming ourselves for people who really should have no place in our life. Not everyone deserves that kind of honor. Not everyone. Everyone deserves to be here by virtue of your birth. You have a right to exist, but you can exist away from me. That's kind of where I'm at this point. Like, you can exist away from me. Part of my power is recognizing I have the authority for myself and my life to decide who will share space with me. Okay. So here goes. 1, oops, 2, 3, 4, the 5, 6. Okay. So here goes. Let me just fix these cards. Ooh, see what I'm saying? Ooh. This card comes up. Card number 48, 4 being the number of self, 8 being the number of reunification of your parts. Surrender. Surrender. This is a process of like recognizing you've been in an Ouroboros cycle where you are eating yourself. You continue to chase yourself and consume yourself and chase yourself and consume yourself, running away from the fact that you need to begin observing where your thoughts are, where your energy is focused. If your energy is consistently focused on other people and their growth, their needs, what are you doing to yourself? What's left over for you and your growth? Is there anything left over? Oh, but I love to help other people. Well, yeah, I love to help other people too, like tremendously. But I also recognize a lot of the people that I used to help were people who didn't need the help. So at that point, it's not help, it's enablement of their own toxicity and lack of belief in self. Is that loving? When you help someone who doesn't really need the help, and you're just helping them because you want to be a good friend, first off, that's martyrdom. Okay, you're martyring yourself to go ahead and harvest this feel good stuff because now they have to show their appreciation of you, right? So, first, that's martyrdom. Secondly, that's enablement of their own toxicity. Enablement of both your toxicities. Okay, it's definitely something that you have to assess for yourself. Are you in these cycles? Are you eating yourself and at the same time running away from who you are, who you're becoming, your growth? And it's not about shaming you. This is about encouraging you to surrender to your own process. No more running, no more chasing. Just pause and exist, observe, exercise some discernment. What do you need in your life? Do you need this to grow? Do you need that to feel strong? Or do you need this, this, this? What do you need? Have you intentionally blinded yourself? Have you blinded yourself from what cycles you are actively volunteering to participate in? Because a lot of Pisceans and empaths, we do eventually get to this point where we feel used. We feel as though people always just take advantage of our kindness. People always this, people always that. Um, are we volunteering for that? Are we the ones initiating those cycles by offering, volunteering, all of that stuff? Is that something that we're doing? Because if it is, no one's taking advantage of you. This was a very, very hard conversation I had to have with myself. You're here really mad. You're really hurt. I understand. I understand why you're feeling this way. I don't think you understand why you're feeling this way. People are taking advantage of the fact that you continue to offer, you continue to volunteer yourself. And really, logically, if you don't have to do it and someone's offering, why not? Right? And then I think to myself, well, I wouldn't do that. Well, yeah, you do. You allow the human brain to offer things, and the soul is like, oh, yeah, sure, go ahead, do it. Go ahead, just do it. Just do it. Why is that? I recognize for me personally, when I do that, when I was in those types of cycles of the Ouroboros cycles, um, it gave me a very, very solid excuse as to why I was too busy to work on myself. I was too busy to address my own needs. to heal my own wounds. And it's the perfect excuse because I mean, really, you're saving other people. You're working on other people. No one can say anything bad about you because you're doing something so loving and giving. The reality of it was, I recognize this. I was using other people as an excuse to not work on myself. Can you be that level of honest with you? I mean, this is not something you have to admit on a live stream and, tell other people this. I have to share this because part of my purpose is to live through all these challenges, all this adversity, gather the learning, and then share it. That's a part of my purpose. And just because that's part of my purpose, does that mean unless you are brave enough to admit this publicly, you got to shut it down? You can't admit this to yourself. Absolutely not. I recognize I was using people in the same way they were using me to fulfill some end that prevents me from doing the work I actually need to do. And that work that I needed to do was on myself. Was someone betraying me? Was someone using me? Yes. Who was it? Avoidance is one hell of a motherfucker. Yeah. Yeah. I created so much distorted thought, so much distorted perception of who I am, how I fit into this world, my purpose, my perception of other people. Because after a certain point, you cannot help but feel as though humans suck. Humans don't care about each other. Humans are just users. No, girlfriend. First off, you're a part of that human population. So long as you're in a human body, you are a human. Secondly, girl, weren't you the one that was calling people, messaging people, offering shit? And now you're going to turn around and be like, oh, people are using me. No, honey. You using them in a very covert manner, very manipulative. This is very, very manipulative. I had to have this conversation with myself. Granted, my form of manipulation helps other people, but manipulation is manipulation. Are you manipulating yourself into believing you have to do this, you have to do that, you have some sort of obligation? And if you are, why? Why are you manipulating yourself into that thought? Is it to avoid working on yourself? Is it to atone for something that you feel you need to be punished for because you made a mistake? There's nothing you need to atone for. Everything in your life that occurs to grow you. Okay? If you don't grow from that, if you keep yourself chained to that painful moment, you are betraying your own soul and your own purpose. If you inadvertently hurt someone else, if you inadvertently cause some sort of harm, not really intending to with maliciousness, maybe it was a reaction, maybe it was a necessary response. Um, why are you punishing yourself? Why is that? Maybe it stems from something so far beyond, so far beyond. Well, intentionally, you ask, what about the people who do so intentionally? Why are you doing that intentionally? I found hurt people hurt other people. So, what is it that is causing you to hurt so badly that you are projecting it out onto other people to help you have this external manifestation of that internal pain? Because that pain hurts so bad and you feel like that's all I deserve. So, let me find the people who I can treat badly to validate my need to see myself as a villain. What about that? Because I know quite a few people who do that. I know quite a few people who do that. They are not bad people. They can be hurtful, yes. They can be hurtful, yes. Well, Mark, just that one time, did that involve the risk to your life? Because you can't put a theater of war in the same category as personal human interaction. They're not the same. They're not the same. They're just not the same. And if you can't allow yourself to move forward from that, how is that experience, that tremendous amount of pain that's causing tremendous amount of learning, introspection, depth, as well as rise, how is that going to benefit the rest of humanity? If you allow yourself to stay in that place where you blame yourself, failing to acknowledge and honor the fact that the souls make agreements before we even come into body. How do you not know how do you know that there was not already an agreement that this would occur, this potential event would occur, and it will benefit your growth, spiritual growth in some way? And as one soul to another, I agree to this because you have a purpose that's elevated, and this is my way of contributing to that elevated purpose. You have no idea of that. So why do you punish yourself for things you don't understand? I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. But I have the ability to hear soul. I have the ability to share what soul tells me. And I also have the ability to love people in such a way that frees them to choose how they will use the words that I share. And the manifestation and physicality of humanity. But you understand that the physical manifestation, the density of that manifestation still has a very real, very tangible energetic root causation. Just because the human only experiences the physicality of the effect does not negate the root of the energetic causation. You cannot separate the two, because when you do, that's how you live a life of suffering, unnecessary suffering. That is how you cut off and block off your purpose and the gift that you came here into this life to give to other people, whether it be a few people, the entire world. Who are you to dictate how you will withhold yourself in your gift? And that's something we all have to ask ourselves. Who am I to stand in the way of this very profound, very divine soul purpose that maybe I don't understand? I'll use me as an example just because that's who you're looking at. I'll use me as an example. I still don't quite understand my purpose. I don't know why I would have that kind of purpose. Like, I'm nobody special. Like, I still have my toxicity. I still have this. I still have that. I need to work on so many things about myself. Why me? I don't want to be live. Like, why would people even value what I have to say? And it's not for lack of confidence or lack of understanding of my worth. It's for lack of understanding, period. Like, why? There's so many other people who are much better suited to be publicly visible. And how would you feel after having experienced sharing space with me? Whatever that affects you, however that grows you, I don't know. I honestly don't know. How would you feel now experiencing all of this with me? How would you feel if I never allowed myself to be publicly visible? What type of profound, profound thoughts and things that were initiated by something you heard me share about my life, my perception? What would you have been robbed of? Because I still don't know what you benefit from sharing space with me. I appreciate that you want to share space with me, but for all I know, it's just funny. For all I know, and I'm being completely honest here, for all I know, people continuously share space with me when I go live because I say funny shit. I'm sometimes I get very savage when I talk, and it can be entertaining to some people. For other people, it's like, what the fuck? You know, I don't know. What would you be missing out on? Have you quantified yet how you've benefited by sharing space together? You know, and because you've quantified it, is there an assumption that I'm supposed to understand, that I'm supposed to share that same value or regard that you have for me? I mean, I can value you and hold you in high regard without knowing one diddly squat about why you continue to share space with me. Does that mean I should withhold myself? That's a disrespect to my sovereign purpose, you know? Savage level 10. Sir, please stop cutting me in half. That's a 20, okay? Yeah. 20, okay? Um, it's just one of those things where we don't have to fully understand to embrace our purpose. And to be honest, my personal thought on this is that I will live my entire life going out of my way, trying to make sure that I am aligned and stay aligned with whatever this purpose is that I can't wrap my limited brain around. And I know that one day, that's crazy. That's crazy that it's so hard to say. What I'm supposed to say is one day my life will finally slow down. It'll finally slow down. And all the people that I've needed to help, that I promised to help, will have received the help that I promised on a soul level. And my life will slow down. And in that moment, I'll know my life is done. And I'll look back and I'll understand that I never understood in the moment what my purpose was. But looking back, when my life finally slows down, I will know for a fact that entire time I had already been living my purpose. So it's not that you have to know your purpose and understand it. It's that you have to accept that you are living your purpose in every part of that process. And it's just so weird to me. It's so weird to me to recognize, like, the gravity of me uttering that out loud adds to the gravity of my understanding of my purpose. And in that, they say that the word was made flesh and dwelt among us. That this is the speaking of the very beginning of the manifestation is the speaking of it, speaking it into being, and then standing out of your own way and allowing for it to manifest into actual density. And in that, I mean, how do you speak? Speaking is nothing more than a controlled exhale. You're exhaling while you are combining the positioning of your tongue, your larynx, your lips. That is speech. Speech is a romanticized exhale. So all of that coming together in my thoughts, tell me why I began to breathe very shallow. Because in many ways, I still absolutely fight the process of discovering what the truth of my purpose and the gravity of who and what I'm here for is. So if someone like me, I don't know what that means. If someone like me that, people perceive to really have their shit together and they're so spiritually advanced and mature and oh my god, um yeah, that wasn't very mature or advanced. I'm right there with you, struggling with the recognition of who and what I am, what I'm here to do, and my compliance with that recognition. Alchemy. I love that. The transmutation of my fear into the fuel the very fuel that would help me to rise, not rise above others, but rise so that I'm visible, so that others will understand they have the ability to rise as well. Exactly. No pedestals. No pedestals. I've said that so many times. Like, I don't want to be placed on a pedestal. I want to walk beside you. I don't want you to follow me. I want you to walk beside me as my equal, because that's what we are in all our differences and all the differences of where we are within our awareness of our consciousness. We are all still very much equal, all still very much equal. So, what does this mean? This means if you have the capacity to appreciate me to a degree that's profound, why can you not do that for yourself? If we are equal, why can you not do that for yourself? I've made so many people happy and have changed people's lives, but what about me? Is that my purpose to change other people's lives for the better? I have a lot of pain in my heart because everyone comes to me. You have a lot of pain in your heart because you choose to love on everyone else the way you're supposed to love on yourself. In the beginning, those people came to you as ways for you to learn how to properly love yourself without the emotions attached to that. And so long as you continue to just circle that lesson around, you are wasting paper and time. So now, who are you asking? What about me? I think the question is not for other people. I think that question of what about me needs to be directed at the self. The soul is asking, what about me? Because the soul is fully able to love you in the way that you are craving, that you are seeking from other people. And I came across the most profound thing. The words were, stop expecting you from other people. So, in that sense, are you truly helping and loving others? Or is that prepayment for a later obligation? Because if you're asking other people this, it might be the latter. Now, when I ask myself that, girl, what about me? What about us? Then it becomes this thing of, okay, now I'm holding myself accountable for continuing to choose to not choose myself. It's deep. It hurts. That pain is deep. Why is that? I recognize that a lot of Pisceans and empaths, I'm so guilty of this. I came into this life knowing that I'm here to love on other people. Yeah. I'm here to love people, to just love them to the degree that they can finally heal and love themselves. And that's how we raise the consciousness of humanity, right? Um, at what point did I suddenly decide I was not part of that group that needed to be loved on by me? If I'm here to love on humans in order to raise the human perception and enter into a higher plane of dimensional consciousness, at what point did I not become a part of that? Because I am, in fact, human as well. At what point did I decide that? Was it at some point earlier in my life, very, very early portions of my life, where I heard someone else's words or felt someone else's energy, and those words or that energy did not give me permission to receive love? And I embodied that for the rest of my life. Because if that's the case, we need to purge that bitch out. We need to purge that shit out. I am part of the human group I came here to love. It took a lot of conversations with Michael for me to finally understand that. It took him actually flat out just saying, who do you think you are? That you continue to remove yourself from the very group you promised to empower. Who do you think you are? You talk about not placing yourself on pedestals, yet you continue to remove yourself from the very group that needs you to be a part of them. Who do you think you are? And it was at that point I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah. It was at that point I recognized what I was doing, the fallacies that I was partaking in, that I was continuing to allow to exist because someone outside of me told me that's what I needed to do. Who are we believing when we listen to these concepts? Who is it that creates these concepts? Hmm? These like gurus and these like geniuses, these psychological geniuses. They're the pioneers of their field. Well, if you look at all those people who, we allow their perception of certain concepts that they were kind of mulling over, we allow their personal interpretation of that, not knowing where they are within their minds, their hearts, or their life, to dictate to us. Well, I've had several psychologist friends and psychiatrist friends as well. I've had several. And most of them, I think with the exception of one, most of them said, yeah, no, I got into this field because, yeah, no, I had a pretty fucked up life. Thank you, Wicked Love Media. Yeah, no, they had a pretty fucked up life. And so they decided to make that their career because they couldn't understand why the people in their life created those types of circumstance. And so that became their inspiration for what they were choosing. So, in other words, we are allowing people who could not master these things within their own lives to be the very people that we allow to tell us how to live. Um, I don't know why we do that. I want you to look into Freud's life. I want you to look into Carl Jung's life. The only psychology based work that I really profoundly just I beyond respect it resonates so deeply. Um God, Dr. Dabrowski. Dr. Dabrowski dedicated his life to exploring positive disintegration. This concept that we will go through various stages of our life where conflict will give us the opportunity to choose to rise or to circle back around to square one. This concept that in order for you to really develop a firm, solid, healthy understanding of who you are, what your purpose is, you have to disintegrate yourself. You have to remove yourself from that societal think tank that really it's not even a think tank, it's a domination, I'm going to tell you how to behave tank. Look into his work, Dr. Dabrowski, positive disintegration. That is the only type of psychological work that makes sense to me. It makes sense. It fully scientifically explains the processes of ascension, of self-recognition, of this point of like self-realization, self-actualization, self-love, self everything, everything that centers around the self. And modern science would have you think that, oh, okay, so self-love, but you can't really love yourself because if you really do love yourself and you make yourself your priority, well, now you're a narcissist. How does that work? You can love yourself, but only to the degree that I tell you. But if you really enter into a place of loving yourself, recognizing your worth, and being able to vocalize your understanding of that, your recognition and acceptance of that, well, now you're full of yourself. Now, oh, you're selfish. And my favorite thing is that the whole you're full of yourself. Who should I be full of? Because I mean, if I'm not full of myself and now you don't know what to answer when I ask you who should I be full of. So, in other words, the implication here is you expect me to be empty. Gotcha. And that's where society got us fucked up. Because at no point should you be emptied because of shame or guilt. You will experience periods of emptiness in your life because guess what? You are a divine vessel. You are a divine cup that holds creation. And the cup is at its most useful when it's empty. The periods where you experience an emptying are the periods where you are being primed to be refilled, refilled with higher levels of understanding, higher levels of self acceptance, self love, self realization, self actualization, self activation, all of that. All of that. All of that. I only pulled one card, Jill. Card number 31, trust yourself. The entirety of creation is supporting your growth. Trust yourself, okay? Trust yourself. What if someone says Jesus to the question, why should I be full of, or what should I be full of? I don't feel that Jesus is the answer, but I don't know. So for me personally, if you ask me, what if someone says Jesus to the question of what I should be full of? Jesus himself told me I am directly connected to divinity. I should not be full of my brother in Christ consciousness. I should be full of the divinity that creation has allotted for me. And that divinity empowers my sovereignty. And by laws of sovereignty, I am the utmost authority of my life. I am the utmost authority of my energetic field. It is my kingdom. I am both the king and queen that rules this space. And when I believe an interloper has entered, I have the sovereign right and duty to remove that interloper. Only what I allow will be allowed in my kingdom. And no one can convince me that I am a peasant, can convince me to give my crown away, can convince me to sign over my kingdom, because fuck that shit. Within me lives armies upon armies that will stand up for me. Mhm. That's my answer. That's my answer. And absolutely, yes, we only pervert his existence by raising him to a pedestal. Raising him to a pedestal is an absolute perversion and bastardization of his teachings. All of the teachings that were alleged to be taught by him that remind us of our direct link to divinity, taken out of the Bible, removed. Because that Bible was altered to give more power to the church. It was altered. They had a little meeting and they decided we're only going to keep the ones that make him seem supernatural, but we're also going to tell people you have to follow Jesus and be like Jesus, but you can't be supernatural because then we need to burn you. We need to tie you to a stick, put more sticks around you, and burn you. How about me existing as I am, embracing the totality of the gifts that creation gave me, is the biggest, most profound show of me existing as Jesus. And if you want to tell me I'm evil because I have supernatural things that you can witness, how about fuck you? Fuck you. I got two fucking fingers. You want to come from the right? You want to come from the left? You all around from the back? I mean, fuck all that shit. You're not going to tell me that I cannot honor what my purpose is just because you're uncomfortable with that. No, if you're going to tell me that I'm an abomination because I can do morphogenetic recodement, scalar wave repatterning, because I can remove demonic shit without prayer, then you're telling me there's something demonic that is more powerful than God. Or you're telling me that God made a mistake when it created me. At which point, your belief that God is omnipotent is null and void. So, what do you really believe? If you believe that God is omnipotent, omnipresent, then you believe, by virtue of that belief, I was perfectly created by the hands of God itself. Which do you fucking believe? You can't pick and choose. You want to tell me the gays and the trans and the lesbians and I don't know whatever fucking other letters they added that they're abominations? Who fucking created them? I'm just saying. I didn't create myself. I mean, my parents are not that divine that they were able to usurp the power of the Lord. Who created me? Who breathed me into being? Who gave permission for me to exist in the sacred darkness of my mother's womb? I'm just saying. And it's that very religion, because I was brought up and I was choosing to live as extremely devoutly religious for most of my life. And because of what I was taught and my adherence to those teachings, I vilified and demonized myself, shaming myself into obscurity, refusing to help the people who would come to me because I don't know if they're going to think I'm a demon. That's more disrespectful to divinity than me existing authentically with no shame, no hiding. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, trying to fit into society, a society that you didn't come here to fit into. If you don't fit into society, it's because you came here to alter society by your existence. The more you try and fit in, the more you disrespect that sovereign crown that sits upon your head. And at some point, you need to bring into form what your purpose is. Walk towards it. Walk towards it. Focus on the light. Allow yourself to be immersed in that dark period, that dark space. If you think you are nothing but a dying ember in the night, um, I'm going to have to ask you to remember in the pitch black darkness, that dying ember is bright as fuck. Bright as fuck. Whatever stage your fire is at, it can still be bright. Light and dark serve a purpose to give each gravity, texture, and depth. And if you're going to allow yourself to simply exist in the light, you're going to become light blind. You're going to burn the shit out of your retinas. You're probably going to burn your skin. You're probably going to develop dis-ease in response to overexposure to that light. And then you also have to think about, is this actual light or is this synthesized? Is this artificial light? Because we get so caught up in this like love and light thing. We have to exist in love and light. In reality, you really don't like most people inside yourself, right? But love and light. Oh, did you see what? You know what so and so said? Oh my God. Love and light. Hey, girl. I love. No. See, society tells me that I'm a fucking bitch because if I don't like you, if I don't want you around me, I'm not going to be like, hey, girl, you come up to me in real life and I don't like you. We have a problem. We have a history. And I have a problem with you now because of that history. You come up to me and like, hey, what do you want? I'm not gonna play this shit with you. What do you want? Why are you saying hi to me? I know you don't like me. Why are you? Do you need something? Do you need help? Let me know if you need help. And if I can help, I will help. But I still don't like you. My history with you has caused me to form certain opinions of you. And I'm not going to fake that shit. You haven't done anything to change the opinions, the negative opinions. But if you need help and I can help, I'll help. But what the fuck do you want? It's time to really, really exist in the truth of who you are. If you know someone is hurtful, harmful to you, if you know they've been malicious in their behaviors and words when your back is turned, don't play fake. Don't play fake because then that gives them permission to further that shit with you. I'll be blunt. I don't like you. What do you want? Do you need help with something? Like for real, do you need help? Because if you need help, I could suspend my dislike of you. I can help you. I'm willing to help you. I'm still not going to like you until you do something to change what you did before and my perception of you because of what you did. I'm not going to like you. I mean, doesn't mean I want you to suffer. See, society teaches us if you don't like someone, then you have to be obligated to root for their suffering. I'm not that fucking kind of person. I don't want no one to suffer. I don't want nobody to suffer. I don't care what you did to me. I'm not you. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you hurt me. I got to hurt you. No, I'm not you. I'm not you. The most hurtful shit I can do is remove your access to me. I know what kind of love I bring to friendships, to relationships, to family. I know what kind of love I bring. And if you're going to be disrespectful, you're out. Have a good life. Like literally, have a good life. Have a good life without me. But I know you're going to think of me all the time. all the time. And maybe in that thinking of me, you'll understand you don't fucking treat good people like that. And hopefully more good people will cross your path and you'll know how to treat them, but you're not fucking coming back here. I don't think so. That's just not how I function. And maybe that's not spiritually evolved, but I've come to realize I need to give myself permission to exist in that way because that's the way in which I disallow people to continue to abuse me. If I haven't learned how to establish, maintain, and enforce boundaries in that region of my journey, they're going to have to stay out. Because if I let you in, I'm loyal to you. I will go to war with you. I will go to war for you. You don't even have to be there. The type of friendship and love that I bring, it is so fucking profound, but you have to earn that shit. You have to be worthy of that. Not everyone that I will come across is worthy of that. And that's okay. That's okay. It's just a way for me to discern who I should allow to have access to me and who I shouldn't. And people can have their opinions. They absolutely can. Because of the fact that they can have their opinions, I can have my decisions. It's very fair. I'm going to free myself to decide for myself. And I'm going to free you and respect you to have your opinions. And your opinions are not going to dictate to me. Card number 36, listening for truth. The truth is, you come from a legacy of light. You're going childhood of your awareness to the adulthood. Allow yourself to enter into that adulthood. Hold on. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. All right. Manifestia. Manifest what it is you want to need. We have no problem and no shame manifesting the things that hurt us. But the moment you begin to manifest what you actually want and need, you are a witch, you are selfish, you are dealing with demons. Fuck those people. Like, my patience is gone. Fuck those people. Those are the people who have no problem watching you suffer and they don't offer any help. And if that's the case, I don't give a shit what you say. If you can't find it in yourself to help me when I ask for help or when you see me suffering, I don't give a shit what you say. I don't give a shit what you say. You can continue to exist a beautiful life. I don't want you to have anything less than what I feel I deserve, but I don't value what you have to say. If you can't value my existence and my need, I don't need to value you. And some would say that's a tit for tat. No, it's not. It's me exiting that martyrdom cycle. Really, really let yourself wrap your mind around that. This concept that I have to martyr myself, that I have to struggle to prove to you I'm a good person. Fuck that shit. Fuck it. No, no. Yeah, no, I say that with my entirety. Fuck that shit. I don't need to suffer and struggle to prove I'm a good person. If you do not have the clarity of vision to see me as I am right now with room to grow is a good person, then you're fucking blind. And I don't need the blind leading the blind. This is about knowing who you are. This is about embracing the power of knowing who you are, holding yourself accountable. I messed up there. You know what? At that point, I was hurt and I hurt back and I kind of regret it, but it also did gift me the opportunity to learn something on a much deeper level, and I might never repair that connection. I might have forever ruined it, but I'm not going to disrespect that gift of knowing and understanding by dismissing it because now they won't allow me to come back into their lives. It's hard. See, that's the thing, Ricardo, not lowering my standards to meet anyone else's standards anymore. So here's the thing, if you're so focused on how low other people's standards are, how low their perception is, you've placed yourself on a pedestal. Let go of that thought. Well, then how would I live, Emmie? Well, live. When someone new comes across you and you have this resonance, beautiful, celebrate it. You found soul tribe. When someone crosses your path and it's that same feeling of like, this person's gonna fucking end up using me. I know that feeling. I know that energy. Hi, good day. I gotta go. I wish you the best. No judgments, no condemnations, no none of that. It's this recognition. I don't need you to prove to me that my soul is being accurate in what's being said to me, what I'm feeling in my body. My life has dramatically become less dramatic. Uh because now I don't, because the thing is this, okay? Many empaths and Pisceans, our intuition will tell us, no, 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 not that one, girlfriend. That one is going to inject your life with a lot of bullshit. And then, instead of listening to that, you know what we do? We go ahead and say, "No, don't be that way. Oh my God, that is so mean. Give them a chance to prove you wrong. Ask me how many people have proved me wrong. Ask me. Literally, somebody ask me of the double digit numbers of people who I have had this feeling come up. It's just some random feel like, oh, what the fuck is that? And I told myself, don't be that way. Let them prove you wrong. Motherfuckers, ain't nobody prove me fucking wrong. I'm sick and tired of being right. So now I'm just like, hey, I gotta go. um, have a good day. Yeah, I gotta go. And I go. A big goose egg. So that I could see clearly. That's not just a zero. This is my scope. Yeah. None. None. Not a single one. And every single time I said that to myself, that was the very person who at some point turned around, took advantage of me, and then turned around again and talked mad shit about me. Am I their victim? No. I am their willing accomplice. My soul already told me. My soul already told me. And I decided, like, let's do this. Come on, let's do this. I want to hurt me good, okay? Okay. Just make it real good. Like, hurt me really good. Because I mean, I put myself out on the line there. I mean, don't prove me wrong this time. I've been proven right for so long. Just hurt me really good this time. Yeah, no, fuck that shit. Sacral chakra, core of creation. Many of us have sacral chakra injuries because we keep internalizing the pain that other people cause. It comes from family, it comes from people we feel, see, label as family, soul family. You know how many people have done that shit to me that were soul family? I'm good with that shit. I'll tell you. I tell you. Yeah, no, no, I'm done with that. Root chakra, ground and center. You are not supposed to just ground into the earth. You are to ground into this life. Be fully present, fully anchored in your human experience while you are in human body. All of these human beings grounding into the earth and trying to reach higher levels of I don't know what, failing to be fully present at center. Why? How are we going to change this world if we're so busy trying to go down and trying to go up and no one's on the first floor, on the ground level? How are we supposed to change this world? And we got all the people that are striving to go up, like, oh, this world sucks. We need to change the world. Like, oh, the sheep. And I'm a light worker. I'm a light warrior. I'm Blu ray. I'm Starseed. I'm Arcturian, Lyran, Syrian Pleiadian. Like, please. I'm gonna need you to go back on the ground floor. You need to man that fucking table, okay? I need you to be the greeter at the door. That's how we're going to change the world, by being fully present. Being fully present, existing as you are with no apologies. No apologies for being me. No apologies for what you're witnessing. Okay? Understanding that I have to trust soul. My soul, your soul, our soul. Soul. Okay? We have to trust in something. And if what we have on this earth plane can't be trusted, then we need to transcend that. Trust your intuition. That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about make offerings to all these different gods and goddesses and ascended masters and yeah. Yeah. You want me to channel ascended masters? The ascended masters say they're sick of that shit. Take responsibility for your own world. That's what the ascended masters tell me. Y'all want me to start channeling? I'm just being an asshole now. They do say that though. I chose to say it in an asshole-ish way. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm not. I can't lie to you. I'm not sorry. I'm being dry as fuck and sarcastic. Sometimes I can't tell where my sarcasm ends. Just that's me. So card number 25, freedom. Free to be you, free to transform, transcend, go deeper, go higher, go inner, go outer, whatever it is, just do it. Okay. Ooh, card number 50, the portal keeper. You know what I love about cats? They do whatever the fuck they want. If I want to be up out all night as a cat, I will be up all fucking night. I'm not just going to be awake. I'm going to be chasing after shit. I'm going to run around like shit is chasing me. There's nothing in the room, but mind your own fucking business because I'm doing something right now. I swear to God, I've been a cat in many lives. I feel that so deeply. Okay, I got myself clawed the fuck up the other week, right? That shit hurt my feelings so much. Why? I had no reason for my feelings to be hurt. You know what happened with that? So my cat was laying on the couch and we were canoodling. We were fucking canoodling. He was smirgling. He was loving me so deep. And then I decided to be an asshole. I tried to touch his chest. And he went like that to me, like, no, I don't want you to touch me right now. And so I decided to take my finger and go like that to his front paws, at which he glared at me and he went like with his paw, stuck out the nails. The paw that I was touching was here. That he was like, I'm gonna fuck your ass up. I told you don't touch me right now. And so I saw that. I was like, I'm gonna try and touch his back paws and see what the fuck he does. Cause he's not gonna tell me not to touch his paws. I'm the fucking human here. I'm the boss here. I'm not the boss. He showed me real good. Cause as soon as I went, I didn't even get to touch that back paw. He clawed the shit out of me like, bitch, what I fucking tell you with a chest in the front paw? You want to fuck around? Let me just let you know right now. And it was just one like that. And I was like, oh my God. Because he's never done that to me. Do I have an asshole for a cat? No, I'm pretty sure I was the asshole in that situation. He told me the boundary. Being the human that I am, thinking I could go around the boundary and continue to disrespect his space, he let me know. And after he did that, I felt afraid. Afraid as fuck. Yes, he's equipped with razor blades in his all the fucking paws have razor blades to hold on to you while the teeth are prepped. And so I was afraid. And he was trying to love on me. After that, I'm like, no, don't hurt me. Don't hurt. Yeah, I needed to learn that shit. So now I touch him, and when he kind of backs away, okay, buddy, I won't touch you no more. I learned though, right? I learned. Was he an asshole for that? No. That was his way of loving me and helping me understand you are being disrespectful to my sovereign space. I'm not, there is no boss, he said. He said, when I see you get up, You better walk towards that basement. If I see you walk towards that basement, I'm going to run in front of you. And if I feel like you're not going to give me food, I'm going to trip your fucking disrespectful ass halfway down the stairs. So you better get he tried that with me this morning. He ran in front of me. He saw me going down to the basement. He ran in front of me and he stopped near the bottom. And I was like, no, Felix, I'm not giving you food. The next step, he ran in front of me, totally blocked the whole step. And I almost fell. Luckily, I grabbed the bar and I was like, ah! And then he ran up to the top of the stairs and he looked back at me like, bitch, and then left. And I was like, oh, motherfucker, it's not time for your food. Yeah, no, be a cat. Be a cat. I love dogs too. And people are often like, oh, that's why I'm a dog person. Dogs will do whatever you tell them to do. You can be really abusive to a dog. I've seen so many videos of this, and the dog will still crave your love. It will go out of its way to earn your love. Whether you're worthy of their love and devotion or not, they will do this. I'm a cat. I'm sorry. You can be a dog all you want. But if I tell you you cannot touch my paw, I will claw you if you touch it. If I tell you you cannot be in my space and you try and force your way in, I will claw you. And I won't feel bad. I won't. I won't feel bad. I will have asserted my dominance within my field. And for those who have earned my love in that way, my trust, my loyalty, I will be your lap chihuahua. Okay. I will cuddle with you. I will go out of my way to try and make you feel loved. But for the general public, I am a fucking cat, one of the hairless ones. Those look extra mean. Just like that. They look like. I gotta go. Session's starting. Guys, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me. Fucking A. I got one more card to read. Okay, one more card. One more card. Hold on. Hold on. I'm just gonna read the poetry of it, and then you guys gotta interpret it on your own. Okay? Or maybe I'm gonna read the whole thing. Who knows? Who knows? I'm just gonna pick a card from the center. I don't have time. Okay. Card number 17, the human gift. Card number 17. Excuse me. Card number 17, the human gift. Oh, heart, what is your excuse for all these blunders? Such loyalty is offered by the beloved, yet so much treason comes from you. Such kindness is offered by the beloved, yet so much defiance and resistance comes from you. Such grace is offered by the beloved, yet so much fault and failure comes from you. Such attraction is offered by the beloved with sweetness and generosity, yet such jealousy comes from you with so much doubt and suspicion. Mm. Do you bemoan your lack of faith? Do you berate yourself, blazing angel, because you have moments where you cannot bring yourself to trust and love more than you trust in your fear? Do you lament and worry that you could or should be living in greater surrender? And yet, when is light more precious than when it arises from darkness? When is trust more admirable than when it involves um, uncertainties? Human angel, your path is perfection in the divine sense, not in some artificial absence of struggle, but in the wrestling of darkness and light that ignites the fire within your holy heart. So rise up now from your doubts and let your human self be loved. Even for all the doubt, you are still a cherished one of the great beloved and always shall be. It does not matter how much you doubt yourself. Allow yourself to simply be present. And I promise you, if you are open to communication, your soul will give you confirmation after confirmation after confirmation of how profound your existence actually is. Again, still don't understand my purpose. I still don't quite understand how my personal views can be beneficial for someone outside of me. But every day that I show up, every day that I'm present and find that courage within me to share my perceptions, my experiences, each of you gift me with confirmation of the gravity of my existence, the necessity of my purpose. I will not have confirmation if I choose not to show up. Figure out how those words apply to you and your journey. If you continue to choose not to show up, how will you ever receive the confirmation that you're seeking? So, thumbs up. I gotta go. Love you guys. I'll see you again very soon. Bye.